Hey guys, Anna here, and welcome back to Builds with Anna. Today we are building the Rhodes family home, and this home is built in the world of Newcrest, which is a base game world. I just built it here because I really liked the lot shape. This was a lot, it's a house, as you can see, it's essentially a T, and it's all one floor, and it needed a longer lot as opposed to a wider lot, so this lot is actually really appropriate for it. And as you can see, I'm very much working on the house. It's a modern build. I know the roof looks a bit rough for now. We do fix it in the end, but essentially I wanted to give off that geometrical shape that you see in a lot of modern builds. So I'm just going around with some columns. And these are from Spa Day. They're a thicker column, and I liked the little detailing that was on the columns. Spa Day in general has some really good assets for modern and contemporary builds. So I used quite a lot from that pack. We're just working on the roof. So this essentially has a half gabled roof section, and then the rest of the roof is actually a platform. And now I am currently building a little platform focal point, which, if you've seen the latest video, my tips and tricks platforms 5 ways, I do cover this tip in that video. So feel free after this one, if you'd so kindly, pop on over there and have a look at that video and maybe learn some tips and tricks about platforms. Alrighty, so we've got a focal bit of wallpaper on one side of the house, and then that stone is the majority of the rest of the house. And I thought that was really cool. And when we move indoors, we actually have that same wallpaper being utilized inside as well as like an accent wall. Alrighty, so now we are just putting on some roof trim, and I think we will be moving into, some roofing. So I loved this metal sheeting. I think it just gives a little bit of industrial vibe to the build. Now, as it being a modern build, I use really large glass windows to really flood the space with light. Really large windows, these double glass doors. I've actually never used these before. And this build, they just fit so well. So I decided to utilize them today. Again, Spa Day for these windows, absolutely perfect. They give a bit of dimension to the build, it being one window in 3 sections, but they also give a lot of light into the space. Alrighty, just placing the indoor doors in. So these are just a glass door. I thought it adds into that. It's minimalistic, but it's powerful, those doors, and that's the vibe I wanted. So now I'm doing my indoor spandrel trick. You know, you place your columns on either side, make sure there's a wall, and then place a spandrel. And it just creates like this contemporary entryway, and it's so pretty. I went with a white wallpaper with this black accent wall for the kitchen. So this wallpaper is from the new High School Years pack, and I really liked the kind of masculine vibe it gave off in this black swatch. So the Rhodes family, it's a single parent dad with 2 teen children. Now the children are not twins. The teens are not twins, but they are close in age. There's a boy and a girl, and I envisioned that they were wealthy, and that the father is newly separated from the mother, and that he potentially so he's a wealthy writer, and I just feel that he really likes, and part of his personality, which you'll see when we create the family, is he's a materialistic sim. So he likes things of class and opulence and all of those types of things. And you definitely can see that in this home. It almost gives off the vibe, and I'm not saying that, patting myself on the back here, but it's almost like he's hired an interior decorator to decorate his home, and to create this vibe. All right, so we're working on the living room here. So I could not work out the color scheme, and in the end, I went with neutrals. So neutral colors are basically used throughout the house, except in the kitchen. The kitchen has got that sage kind of green with the dark wood tones, which I think is absolutely gorgeous, and it works so well. But I really wanted to use a lot of the Dream Home Decorator assets because when I build a modern home, that's the pack that I turn to. It's a user-friendly guide to modern building. If you ever are unsure about how to build a modern or contemporary home and you own that pack, it is definitely a place to start. I would also say that Eco Lifestyle is very good for these type of builds. If you're building more of a mid-century or retro, I would go towards Get Famous for those type of assets and things like that. So I did use a lot of the Blooming Rooms kit, and I used a lot of Snowy Escape. Snowy Escape actually has a lot of good assets as well, which you'll see throughout the build. So, in terms, if you've watched my speed build, so the cottage or the large Copperdale family home, you'll know I like to clutter everything. But this house was meant to be a minimalistic vibe, so the kitchen really has nothing in it. It really is very minimal. Everything that you place is very intentional. So all of these wall decorations are very intentional, and how I've overlapped them when I've placed them. Again, I've alt placed that. And just this little plant, this paranormal stuff pack plant is so beautiful. I do use it quite a bit, and I do feel it fit quite well for this build. The dining table, I brought that sage color back because it's all from the same pack. The colors and the tones, they all match, and that's the one thing I will a little trip with decorating. If you use like the same pack, it's most likely going to be a more cohesive design because when they design the pack, they design it in a way that your assets go together, that they are complementary. So that's how, Dream Home Decorator, you can go from kitchens to living rooms into bedrooms, and it's all going to have a cohesive feel. All right, moving on. So into the bathroom. Again, it's a bathroom. I did do a shower and a bathtub. Now, this is a fancy bathtub. I don't normally do corner bathtubs, but I thought we'd give it a go in this build. Other than that, it's just your standard color pieces. I really love that mirror. That's actually a get-together mirror, and it kind of has this, I don't know, it's given me like Addams Family vibes, which I don't really think is a minimalist modern vibe, but the daughter of this family, Maya Rhodes, she gives me Wednesday Addams vibes. You will see in my Creator Sim video where I make the Rhodes family. You will see her and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So this is her bedroom. Now, when I was making this, I wanted to make this sim as somebody who potentially is she has achieved a lot of things. She's really exploring with colors and themes. So there's lots of like diversity in her room. So you've got some pop culture posters, you've got some trophies, you've got some artwork. She's creative. She's kind of got this, there's a hippie symbol on that poster. She is a bisexual sim. So she is definitely exploring her sexual orientation, as a lot of teenagers are in that phase of life. And that's seen in this bedroom. It's just like an explosion of color and of lots of different assets, but it does have little hints of things like that candle, the clothing colors, the floral themes that tell you it's a feminine room. It still is a feminine room, but it has those vibes of maybe she's just she's very proud of her school. She's very proud of Copperdale High and all of those attributes. She really wants to be an important part of Copperdale High and of the school. And now we move into Micah Rhodes' bedroom, which is the son, the teenage son. And this is a completely different vibe. This is a gamer's sanctuary. Sorry, we are jumping back between rooms because I keep finding assets that I want to add to each room. So we just put some cheer stuff in there. Not that she's active, but I feel that she maybe has gone to some cheer competitions and she's potentially bought like merchandise. That's what I think. Anyway, we are back into Micah's bedroom. So as I said, it's got this kind of army green, grungy vibe. It's very dark. It will be dark soon. Again, with those beanbag chairs, love them. It came in a perfect color as well, matching with that bedspread. We're just pulling that from that green. And you'll see assets of that green and all the way through. Now, I was thinking about giving him a gaming chair, and I probably should have, but this green on this standard chair really matched the vibe of the room a little bit better. And yeah, so I went with that. So we're just cluttering up the place. As you can see, I really liked that little, those modular shelving, floor shelving unit things. I've put some shoes in there, some clutter, put some laundry in there. As usual, lots of posters. And then I just went with a very simple black rug for under the bed. And yeah, that's basically his room, but very polar opposite to his sister's. But also, again, it does have a masculine feel to it. And this sim is a loner sim who, he's very smart, but he's maybe not as social. Maybe he's a bit more introverted, a bit more quiet. And yeah, and who knows if that was potentially due to the divorce or whether he's always been that way. We may never know. So now we are moving into the hallway spaces. If you've watched any of my builds, you know I like to put seating areas and bookshelves and desks in hallways and chessboards and all sorts. Oh, that reminds me, I actually don't have a chess table in this build. I need to go and edit and put a chess table in this build. Oh my. When you download the house, it'll have a chess table up. I apologize for that. Okay, now we are moving into the private office. So normally I would do an ensuite bathroom to the master, but I decided to do an office because Mark Rhodes is a writer. And I thought it made sense to give him his private little office. And it's a very basic office. But what I really like about this office, there are elements in there that tell you he's had children. There's a school project. There is these little toy trains. And I wanted to obviously keep to that modern minimalist feel, but I still wanted you to know that it was a family home. And that to me was a really good element to kind of to put forward that maybe perhaps he is a workaholic. Maybe he has put his heart and soul into his writing and maybe not enough into his family life. But deep down, he loves his family. And you can see that because he's kept school projects and he's kept, toys, childhood toys and whatnot. So that was kind of the idea behind those little aspects into the office. So his master bedroom, it's pretty standard, I might add. I really love that bed. That's from Industrial Loft Kit. And the Dream Home Decorator again for that book candle little decorative piece. I've used the lamp from Get Famous, this diamond lamp, because it, as I said, it works for that kind of opulence feel and vibe. Um, and then I used these simple shades in black just around the build in some rooms, just because I felt that I didn't really want to place curtains. I felt that these were a good idea. Sorry about the window, just glitching there. Alrighty, so that is the house. That is basically the house. So this is a 3 by 1 house, and I think it turned out really well. I am now just going around and putting a few more pieces, and just making sure that I'm putting pieces that make it look lived in, but not too much that it's not a minimalist modern home. This is it a recording player? This old-fashioned recording player. I thought this was so cute, and the gold. It played with the gold that's on the gaming console and in the pompous plant, and I really thought that that was a good combination. Again, I like to have my colors in threes. It's a good design technique to do that, and that's how I've done that in the living room space. Now we're moving into the garden, into the landscaping of the build. So I wanted a more paved area, and I've just put some pebbles. And what I've done is I've put the pebbles into like a kind of like a makeshift gardening bed, and that is another way to do it. You can place tile of any kind around a blank space and leave the blank space for where you put your terrain dirt and then your plants, and it kind of gives you a more neat and clean look, which maybe is ideal in more modern and contemporary homes. Okay, so now we are just putting some hedging on the side of the build. I do actually remove that fence, as you can see, and I'm going in with the Smooth Keeper fence, which is a base game fence, and I'm just lining those pebbled garden bed type areas and just placing some plants. I really struggle with modern homes and landscaping. I generally tend to lean towards the plants that come in that you see in Oasis Springs and call it a day. There is not much to the landscaping of this home. Again, this fencing trick that I do with the Smooth Keeper fence, the base game fence, again, I do it because it's user friendly, and it just gives you a more neat finish, and it allows you to use terrain paint and just paint between the fences. It's like painting between the lines when you're in school, and it just helps. Yeah, so we are just going around, and I'm going to put some, I don't know, cactus and aloe vera type plants. I think they're aloe vera. I don't know. Those type of plants, those desert type plants in this little space. I just kind of threw this together. So yeah. And I believe we will then be moving into just cluttering up the space. I need to place a mailbox. I need to do the back entertainment area. And I decided to put in a hot tub in this build. Now, I usually put hot tubs in modern builds. I don't know what it is. I think it might be because when I think of somebody who has money, for some reason, I think of having a hot tub or a spa or a jacuzzi. It just kind of signifies wealth for me. So I've placed the hot tub in here. And we've just got a little barbecue area. Just doing some alt placement there with some counters. And we will then be moving into, I believe, yes, a little glass dining table, a little bit of outdoor seating. And I just use a couple of plants. This little plant from Snowy Escape is absolutely adorable. And yes, there was the infamous hanging plant that I use in all of the Anna builds. And followed up by another Anna trick, which is planter boxes everywhere. I just love it. It adds another skill to the home, And I'm all about having loads of skills and activities for my Sims to do. And because I post these onto the gallery, I like to have builds that, you know, players can utilize and have those type of gameplay elements. So now I'm just going around the build and placing some outdoor lighting and a mailbox, and we are done, guys. This is basically the build. And we're just about to head in to the tour. Just before I do that, I found these bench type seating from Discover University, and they were just really good in this pack. In this build, sorry. So we are moving into the tour. So the bedrooms. And again, this is just to give you a rough idea of what we've built today and just to cover over some of the elements, you know, the bathroom, that beautiful kitchen, that living room. And yeah, so that is it. That is the build. Welcome to the Rhodes family home. I hope you enjoyed this build, and if you do, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below and let me know what was your favorite room in the build. And also, feel free to pop on over to the Rhodes family Creator Sim video. I had a lot of fun with that video, and I really wanted to just share that with everybody. I thought it was a really good idea to design the Sims that are then going to go into the house that we designed together. If you like that kind of concept, let me know. I'd be definitely interested in doing it again, but I would just love that feedback. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye for now.